In this video, I'm going to introduce you to entering property into an Enforcer incident report. There are different types of incident reports, but if you go to the Property tab on any of them, the methods shown here will be the same. I'm going to open an existing report. Here you'll see a property already there. This piece of property is a vehicle that came over from a CAD incident. Pieces of property can get into an incident by importing it, entering it directly, or from a CAD import. Let's go ahead and import a property from Property Intake. Here we get the Property Intake list. If you haven't watched the video on Property Intake, please take the time to watch that video. Here I'm looking for a piece of property that hasn't been processed and hasn't been imported into any report. I can see this one was created today, and so I'm going to use that one. If I want to enter a property directly into an Enforcer incident, I just click the Insert button here. To save some time, I'm going to open up the piece of property that we imported. In the upper portion, you can see that everything has already been filled out from the Property Intake module. This should look very similar to the Property Intake form, except that there's a Property Storage checkbox here. By default, Property Intake puts everything into storage. In the Enforcer incident, it's optional, because items could be stolen and not recovered, therefore they may not go into storage. And that's only one example. Just to reiterate, this checkbox is very important because it tells the property manager that this piece of property is in storage and the property manager needs to manage it. If that box is not checked, that would be a piece of property you don't have on hand. Here we can select an activity type, and for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to select Evidence. Please note this checkbox, Submit Property Activity to State Agency. That makes sure it goes into the submission file to your respective state agency for NIBRS compliance. Here we have the Offense Relationship tab. This is where we can relate a piece of property to a specific offense. Next, we have the Involved Party Relationship tab. This is where you can relate a piece of property to the individuals involved in the report. It's important to note that each report can have multiple properties, multiple offenses, and multiple involved parties, so keeping these relationships in order is very important. And finally, we have an Images tab where you can attach images. And as we have this highlighted, you can now see the property activity associated with this piece of property. That concludes how to enter property into an Enforcer incident report. For more on property management, please continue to watch the Property Management series of videos.